Pretty fun video for you guys. So we had the low rarity event announced, which is due to be happening on the 23rd of March for Duel. It's basically a tournament where you only use non-rares and rares. I'm super looking forward to it. I think the ceiling for the format is going to be quite low. However, it makes it quite an interesting format where it's going to be super interactive back and forth YuGiOh. So yeah, it's going to be super creative. I think people are going to be messing around with loads of stuff. This is the deck that I've decided to put together early days. Honestly, I just literally put this together, so I'll try and explain it best I can. I don't have all the cards yet, but I have the majority of them. I will be picking them up closer to the date. But yeah, I just want to put some theory out there for a Blackwing deck that I think might be a underrated sort of deck for the format. We have no black whirlwinds, however, I've chose to max out on a lot of Blackwings that give us extenders, and to add in a Raid Raptor card, which is the Lanius, which is basically another extender, which we'll get onto in a bit. So what we'll do is we'll go straight into it. So we're going to start off with the Orochi. So this is basically an extender. It's level 1 tuner. So we want to play all the extenders that we can. So Blizzard is not an extender, but it's a good normal summon that can potentially extend us in a grind game. So wanted to max out on Blizzards. Also it's a tuner as well, level 2. We also play this one. So this is an extender as well. It's not a tuner, but it has a okay effect that can manipulate the levels. But the fact that it's an extender is quite important. We also play 3 Karuuda. I think Karuuda is probably one of the better ones, being a pseudo sort of hand trap, so we want to play 3 of those, and plus you can just normal summon it and do synchro plays like that as well. Next is Bora, probably one of the better ones to be honest. It is a extender and it's level 4, so yeah, pretty good card. Okay, we also play 3 Shura, the Blue Flame. I think this card's quite important because basically it floats, or floats into another Blackwing, so I think it could be good in the grind game and to keep bodies on board for synchro summons. We also play 3 Chris. So Chris is an extender and it's a level 4, so you can make XYZ plays with it. We also play Usta. So this card's a solid normal summon that revives us back banished Blackwings. So I think this card might be good in the grind game, but I couldn't mess around with the ratios. Potentially add it to 2 or 1. We'll have to see how it goes. And this is the card I was talking about at the start of the video, Lanius. It's basically an extender, and what it does is it locks you into darks for the turn. But that's fine because you normally just play in Blackwings anyway, and even if you are locked into the extra deck with the dark monsters, we do have a lot of options anyway. So I'm not too concerned about the restriction. I think it's really solid though to have a Wing Beast level 4. So for the tech cards, so as you can see, we have quite a few spaces. I think it's 14. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14 flex spaces, so this can be messed around with any of the staples in the format, but this is what I've chose to play so far. There's 2 Lightning Vortex, so the discard isn't too bad, but the main thing is you just wiping the board. I think that's probably the most important thing here, especially in an interactive format like this where there isn't going to be much like Omni Negates. You just want like cards that are just good wiping the board, punishing your opponent for overextending. I think this is probably one of the best monster removals that's like good in your turn. I didn't want to commit to too many traps like Torrential, because I feel like 1, we can't really play around the Torrential, and 2, it's quite slow. And if your opponent doesn't summon, you could just get screwed by it. So yeah, 3 MST. I think we're going to see quite a few burn decks, if I'm honest, like people trying to burn you out. So I'm not too sure how good this card will be. But I think it's just utility, to be honest, to set it. So I could probably drop it to 2 or even play the 1. I think I'd probably be safe playing 2. Next is for Book of Moon and Chalice. So I'm not too sure how these cards will do in the format, but they're quite solid interaction that you can just set and play on your opponent's turn, as well as if they have managed to put up not Omni Negate or a threatening card that you just need to attack over, you can just either negate the effects, or you can just Book of Moon it, put it face down to attack over it if its defense is lower. So these cards might be good, but they are flex spaces. And then 3 Compulse. So Compulse might be a good card for players that overextend, make synchro plays, and then don't commit themselves with a lot of follow-up. So it could punish quite a few players. I think it's probably one of the better traps in the format, that and Dynamiscus, but I didn't want to discard off Dynamiscus because we don't have Whirlwind to refill our hand. So yeah, that's the main deck. A lot of room for messing around with, but this is the structure I put together. If you guys want to copy it, absolutely feel free to. All I ask in return is you just subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff. And yeah, extra deck. So we'll go on to it. So I just put the extra deck together in like 5 minutes, if I'm honest. But we'll go over a few things that caught my eye. Okay, so we're playing this guy. He's level 4. What he does is, if it's destroyed by card effects and sent to the graveyard, target level 4 or lower monster in your grave and special summon it. So if your opponent Lightning Vortexes you and you don't have many plays, you can just like sit on this and try and get a revival off it. But it's a flex spot for sure. We also have the older entity Hastor. So if this card is sent from the main monster zone to the graveyard, target when face-up monster your opponent controls equipped it to it, and that a targeted monster cannot attack and its effects are negated. So yeah, not a bad card. It also has another effect then. If this card leaves the field, while it's equipped to that monster, you can take control of the monster this card is equipped to. So yeah, this card could be good. It's a level 4. And it's a non-rare, which is pretty crazy. So I say it's a non-rare, like this card would never get played in modern day format. But yeah, it could come up. So I think with a Blackwing deck, you have so many ranges of levels you can go into. I wanted coverage from like level 4 up to like 9 for utility purposes. So yeah, we have Sacred Warrior. So once per turn, it cannot be destroyed basically. So it doesn't do a lot. We played the one Soheya. So this is one of the only level 5s we can actually play that's really solid. But I thought I'd add it anyway because it does add a lot of utility for the deck. Gaia, the generic one, the generic synchro. So this is a level 6 synchro, but it has a 26 attack. So it might come up. I don't know yet. I just thought I'd add it in. We'll have to see how it goes with that one. Mighty Warrior. So basically this card is just oppressive. It's decent in sort of format, so I thought I'd add it in. Same with Gravity Warrior, so you could probably one or the other. I'd say Gravity Warrior is better. It adds a lot more pressure onto your opponent, plus it can do a lot more damage, so I think I'd probably add this in. The only issue with this, it does have a low attack. We also play 2 of the Armor Master. I think this card's probably one of the best cards in the format. So yeah, I'd probably say Armor Master Turbo. This deck is pretty much, but we'll have to see how it goes. Lightning Warrior, another good level 7 option if you're not already locked into Darks, if you play the Lanius. So yes, card's pretty good. Same with the Chidori, another good option to go in, especially if you're locked into Darks as well. Same with Silverwind. I think Silverwind could probably be played quite a bit. I could opt to play this at 2. We'll have to see how it goes, and maybe cut in the Gigantic Castle, which I added in. Okay, so I'm playing these 2 XYZs. We don't have a massive pool of XYZs to access, so I thought I'd add in the Nightmare, which is basically a Book of Moon if your opponent special summons a monster. And then we added in the Blade Runner Falcon. So what this card does, if it's XYZ summoned and your opponent's life points is at least 3,000 or higher than yours, it can make an attack. And it gains 3k attack basically. So then when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach any number of materials and destroy that many monsters your opponent controls. So it's a board wipe basically if your opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than yours. So it's a comeback card. It could come up. We'll have to see. But yeah, these are my initial thoughts for the deck. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions. Drop your deck below of what you're planning to play for the event. I'm super excited. And if you guys want to see me playing it live, check out my Twitch. Link will be below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.